Well, HC family and friends, what a great joy and delight it is to be able to be here with Lynn and Doug Harrison. Many of you will know them, and they've had a fairly amazing story this last year that I've come to interview them about just briefly. They'd love to share with you. So welcome, Lynn and Doug. Last time we saw you, Lynn particularly, you were dressed as a clown at our church fete, and Doug was the faithful helper going around after the clown.
Blowing up all those balloons.
Absolutely, doing a wonderful job. And since then you've had quite a year. So tell us, what have the last few months been like for you?
Thanks, Karen. The past 4 months have been quite different for us. In February and March we both had significant birthdays, and we decided to do a coach tour of New Zealand to celebrate this. We had an extremely wonderful holiday and travelling throughout both islands of New Zealand. We arrived home towards the end of March, and as requested by the government, we self-isolated. Then after a few days we both began to feel unwell. After testing and being positive to COVID-19, we were sent to hospital. I was in hospital for 10 days, and Lynn was put on life support for 3 weeks, and she's in hospital for almost 7 weeks. Luckily, neither of us have memory of most of our stay in hospital.
We were both so ill that both the doctors and the nurses were surprised when we recovered, because they didn't know whether we would make it through, and they told my daughters that she may not come out of this coma. And we believe that it was through your prayers, because honestly I just went to sleep. Can't rely on me to pray. No, it was your prayers that did it all, and we're here today thanks to your prayers. We're convinced that we wouldn't be here today without the prayers of our church community.
Wow, what a story. So we've obviously heard so much in the news and on the media about the COVID and how it's changing our world, and you guys have had a very personal experience with this invisible enemy.
We can't remember much about what went on in the hospital, but one thing that I can remember is when I was in intensive care, and they asked us to say goodbye. It must have been before I went in. They asked us to say our final goodbyes to each other. And you know, I wasn't scared.
Very hard thing to do.
I can remember saying to Dad, "Don't worry about me. I know where I'm going. I've had a good life."
Yeah.
But we can't really remember much else.
Right, yeah. So as you've come out of hospital and returned home and all that's involved, how have you been aware of God's presence and God's encouragement at this time of your life?
Well, I think the fact that I just recovered, and once I came home and picked up so well and so quickly, I was aware of everyone's prayers. I knew it wasn't my doing, it was God's doing. He's not finished with me here.
Yeah.
He wants me to dress up as a clown a few more years and hand out balloons to all the kids if Jesus loves me on them.
Oh, I hope so. Yep.
But look, Karen, I'd just like to thank everyone, our church family, for your prayers. And thank you to those people who brought in food, sent flowers, popped in, sent text messages, everything, because they meant so much to us. They really did.
Wonderful.
And I just can't wait to get back in that church with everyone again and see you all and be able to talk to you.
Yeah, wonderful.
A real church family.
Yeah. And so my last question before we do pray for you is how can we be praying for you? What are the challenges still going on that you would love us to be praying for you?
So we're probably not quite 100%, but we're certainly getting there. So maybe prayers for our continual continued health. But I think we need to pray for the whole world when we look at just how this COVID-19 is starting to come again. And I think we certainly need to pray for that in particular.
Yep. Anything to add, Lynn?
No, just that I do have to go to the cardiologist at some stage in July, just to make sure that there's no permanent damage to my heart. So if you could keep those that in your prayers too, that would
Sure.
gratefully appreciate that.
Excellent. Well, let me pray now as we finish up. Our good and sovereign God, how much we have to thank you for that Lynn and Doug are sitting here with me on the couch right now, that you've brought them through this trial and you have given them healing and life again. And we thank you for your faith, their faith and your faithfulness throughout this whole season. And we thank you that they have just been so aware of your working through your people in this trial as well. We pray that you would continue to be the healer for them, that you would bring them back to full health as they continue in rehab and exercises. Give them stamina to sustain them for that journey. We pray as well for Lynn's appointment with the cardiologist, that you would go ahead of her and bring to light anything that needs to be known about in that circumstance, and give them both your peace. We do continue to pray for our world in its great need at the moment as the coronavirus cases peak and numbers are increasing. We pray in your mercy, God, for healing, and we pray in your power that there would be victory and breakthroughs against this virus. We pray for those who are caring on the front lines and ask for your protection and your sustaining of them. And we pray in all of this that the world would turn their minds and hearts back to you as our world is shaken, that you would be the great rock that you are, and that because of what's going on, you would use it for the good, that Jesus would be known as Lord and King, the one who has risen again and defeated death. So please help us to be part of that ministry and witness at this time, for we ask it in Jesus' powerful name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, guys.